This video is sponsored by athleticcases.com. Basketball, baseball, football, or soccer, no matter what the sport, you guys can now rock your favorite players on the back of your phone. Use the promo code ZachLee for 10% off your orders. Links are in the description box below. Yo, what's up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and let's just get into everything that we gotta talk about today. First up in the news, I don't know if I've ever officially said this on this channel or not. When talking about basketball with friends or other people on the internet, something that I've been saying this summer is if I had to put money on a dark horse to win MVP this upcoming season, I would put my money on Victor Oladipo. And the news that we just got from Victor Oladipo's trainer only validates that statement even more. As yesterday, when Oladipo's trainer was asked about the progress that Victor Oladipo has been making over the offseason, this is what he had to say. If you thought he was explosive last year, this year he's going to be scary. He's turning into a mini LeBron. Yo, a lot of people are talking about the Celtics, Raptors, and the Sixers as the teams to beat in the Eastern Conference now that LeBron James is on the Lakers in the Western Conference. But I don't see how you can't include the Indiana Pacers in that conversation as well. Victor Oladipo is about to come back like an absolute monster this upcoming season. And excuse my Corzemba, but that man has a work ethic unlike anyone else in the NBA. And not only does he have an insane work ethic, but he's also rubbing off onto his teammates, especially Miles Turner. We all know about the progression that Miles Turner has made so far this summer. Now that he's also been training with Victor Oladipo and his trainer. So there's all of that, but not to mention the Indiana Pacers also made some really nice additions to their team this offseason. They landed Tyreke Evans, Doug McDermott, Kyle O'Quinn, and that rookie that they drafted, Aaron Holiday. I think he will come in and contribute right away as well. So yeah, of course I still think the Boston Celtics have to be the favorites to win the East because, you know, they're pretty freaking stacked, but don't sleep on the Indiana Pacers, you guys, and especially Victor Oladipo. Keep an eye out for Victor Oladipo. Like I said, he is my dark horse to win MVP this upcoming season. Next up in the news, so there was a bit of a back and forth going on between Kevin Durant and CJ Mccollum yesterday. And this whole thing started after Kevin Durant was a guest on CJ McCollum's podcast. And on CJ McCollum's podcast, he was pretty much roasting CJ McCollum and the Portland Trailblazers, saying that they play like an A seed in the NBA playoffs and that there's no way that they were ever going to win an NBA championship because all they have is CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard.
I think I was more mad.
Why are you mad about this stuff?
Bro, I'm in the league. What do you mean? Why am I mad about this?
I mean,
I'm in the Western Conference. I gotta play you MFers all the time anyway, as it is, over and over again. We done got eliminated by y'all a few times in the first round. So I'm looking at cuz.
I mean, you know you guys aren't going to win a championship.
Bro, we have the team. We have capabilities. Anything is possible. We can win a championship, bro.
I just need I need more. I mean, I like y'all. I like y'all too. You're hard to stop. But I mean, come on. You can't be upset about this.
So what do you suggest?
I suggest you just keep playing, man, and don't worry about what goes on at the top of things.
We right there at the top of things. We was a third seed last year, bro. We was right there. We was just slightly below 1 and 2.
But how'd you play?
Some unfortunate situations happened in the first round.
How'd you play?
Some unfortunate circumstances.
Like an 8 seed.
So that happened, and after that happened, one fan tweeted out a clip of it to CJ McCollum, and CJ McCollum responded to it by saying this: "I still think the B word is harsh and shouldn't be used. He knows his decision was soft, but I respect it. It's like getting jumped with your brothers by a game you should have beat, then joining the game to jump you and your brothers 2 months later and forgetting about your bros." To which Kevin Durant replied by saying, "So I would get into a gang fight, plot on my brother for 2 months in our home, and then go out and get on the game we lost to and beat him up? You really think that low of me, CJ? I just did your podcast. Snakes in the grass, boy, I tell ya." The irony of that statement right there, it's off the freaking chart. You got Kevin Durant calling another NBA player a snake. And to make things even worse, if you put what CJ McCollum said into basketball terms, his assessment of the situation was spot on. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were going up against their rivals, the other gang, the Golden State Warriors, a gang that they should have been able to beat. They were up 3-1 in the series. Of course, they go on to lose, and then a couple of months later, guess what? Kevin Durant joins that gang, aka the Golden State Warriors. That's literally a basketball translation of what CJ McCollum just said, and Kevin Durant, I guess, I don't know if he's in denial or what's going on, if he doesn't understand that, but you know, who are we to judge, I guess. Anyways, McCollum later cleared all of this up on Twitter. He wanted to make sure that people don't think that there's any bad blood between him and Kevin Durant, as he later said this: "There's no feud, y'all gotta chill. It's simply an analogy. I'm done speaking on KD and the Warriors because it's childish of me to do so and soft. I've always said what I feel, but we all know that I've never been a snake back to the grind." I mean, even though McCollum was getting roasted on his own podcast, we all heard the dialogue and how it went. There was absolutely no hostility from either side. It was done in more of a joking manner, like if you and a friend were playing 2K and you guys got into it a little bit. But at the same time, CJ McCollum does have his own opinion on Kevin Durant and the move he made, and now we know what that is. And Kevin Durant, of course, doesn't agree with that opinion, and that's where that exchange came from. But just because two people don't see eye to eye on one certain subject doesn't mean that there's any beef. And for our final bit of news for the day, we're not quite done with Kevin Durant just yet, as he also spoke publicly for the first time yesterday on LeBron James joining the Los Angeles Lakers. And it appears that Kevin Durant is a huge fan of this move, as this is what he had to say about it: "I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the perfect decision, the perfect move. He did everything you're supposed to do in Cleveland. I think this is the perfect next step for him. He's kind of breaking down the barriers of what an NBA superstar is supposed to be. You feel like you're supposed to play in one spot, and I think he did a good job of giving you different chapters, and is going to make his book even more interesting when it's done." Now, I wouldn't expect Kevin Durant to have a problem with LeBron James joining the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think anyone had a huge problem with LeBron James joining the Lakers. The only team people would have had a problem with is a LeBron James joining the Warriors. But other than that, I mean, like Kevin Durant said, he did what he was supposed to do in Cleveland. He brought him a championship, so you can't really be mad if he leaves again. But what does have people talking about this is the fact that it kind of also adds fuel to the fire of Kevin Durant possibly leaving the Golden State Warriors. And let me explain real quick. You guys remember shortly after the NBA Finals ended, and David West opened up to the media and admitted that the Warriors had some serious problems in the locker room, and most people thought those problems had something to do with Kevin Durant. And just yesterday, reporter Ramona Shelburne admitted that some Warriors employees didn't even think Kevin Durant was going to stay with this team this offseason, like this last offseason. They thought that he was going to leave up until he gave his Finals MVP speech. And of course, Kevin Durant does keep signing these one-year deals, with the second year being a player option, meaning that he could leave at any moment. After any season, he could just up and go. And if the Warriors were somehow to lose this upcoming season, if they didn't win a ring, I don't think it'll be too hard to imagine Kevin Durant actually leaving. And teams like the New York Knicks are already planning on making a big run at Kevin Durant next offseason. And then you go back to the title of his own publication when he announced his decision to join the Warriors. It was called My Next Chapter. And once again, when he talked about LeBron yesterday, he said LeBron did a good job of giving you different chapters, and how that's going to make his book even more interesting, how that adds more to his legacy. Golden State could just be to Kevin Durant what Miami was to LeBron James. So don't be surprised if there's at least one more chapter in Kevin Durant's legacy before he decides to call it a wrap. Anyways, that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications as well so you don't miss out on future videos. But thank you once again for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and until next time, I'm out of here. Peace!